Welcome to the tea table. Do you hear the bells? This is one of my very favorite Christmas albums I've had for many, many years. Ivan Rabinov, and he is a Russian singer from probably this recording is 40 years ago. I don't think he's alive now, but he sang his whole life, and I believe he grew up in Germany, so he's singing Stille Nacht, Silent Night in German, and he is so authentic. He uses the church bells often and sings the old world European carols that are so from the heart. Weihnachten is, Holy Night. Weihnachten. That's how the Germans greet one another at Christmas. And he also was doing this recording before the wall came down in Berlin. And I believe these choirs backing him were Romanian and Ukrainian choirs that he went to the East to record in the old, beautiful, authentic churches where the acoustics are so pure because there's no carpet. And I just love this. And I had found years ago a cassette tape at Towers Record. I had never heard of him. It was in a bin. It was one of those Christmas miracles. I brought it home, played it, fell in love with it, and then over the years, have lost it. And how do you play a cassette tape now? Well, I found it online. And so you can find him, Ivan Rabinov, Russian, German baritone singer. Actually, he sings a full range, incredible range. Well, how are you doing? How is everything going in your lives? Whoa, I've been so busy and trying to do big projects, and every little inch helps. And I remember my pastor years ago used to say, anything's a cinch when you do it inch by inch. My, isn't that true? And like my friend reminded me yesterday, Rome wasn't built in a day. That's comforting. Well, if you haven't gotten your tea yet, please get your tea and pause and then come back and I'll be here. Well, I have brought you a beautiful tea tray today in Christmas reds, and it's all very red and maroon, deep red. And for the treat, these are my homemade Norwegian Skorpa. And I make them every year. They are a favorite. It was my Grandma Falski from northern Norway, from Lofoten Islands, it's her recipe. And it's butter, eggs, I have ground almonds, ground walnuts inside, and sliced almonds on top, and I also have ground almonds, cardamom, almond, vanilla, butter, sugar, eggs. Similar to biscotti, but a little bit, maybe, I don't know, lighter, crumblier. It's a favorite with everyone, so please take one. Two if you like. Everyone loves these, and the Norwegians like to dip them in their coffee. and they like their sweets. And I know I had these Norwegian aunts, and she said, I like to have my skorper with my coffee in the morning. So it's a very healthy cookie. And I found this is my favorite little teapot of all my teapots in all the world. This is my favorite little teapot. And this is one of my favorite cups. This was a gift from a dear sister-in-law, Linda. And I'll show you the inside is fruit. Whoops, I washed it, so now it's dripping, and then maroon. And it's just a deep, beautiful Christmas cup. And I'll pour out. This little antique teapot, I've used it before on the tea table. It has a lot of Egyptian type symbols, a ship and a lion, and it's from that time, early 20th century, when they were doing all of the archaeological digs in Egypt. And they designed a lot of, oh, there's that balaika. Oh, I love that Russian music. Oh, I love it. It moves my heart. Now I'm going to have, whoops, let's have a little bit of, and I chose these darling little red glass creamer and sugar. You can see. They're like diamonds and rubies. Oh, I love Christmas. Now, children would love these. And I have some little Jell-O dishes that I will serve for Christmas Eve that have the red glass like a ruby and a diamond base. There it is. Happy, happy, happy Christmas from the tea table to all of you. And now I am going to take a sip of tea. I need a sip of tea. I've been going all day. It's my first time I sat down. Okay. Oh, that is so good. That is so delicious. It's so cold. I have all my heaters going. Hot tea is essential today. I have been finding some beautiful Christmas music, and I had some sent to me from my son, and you've probably seen them on YouTube. I mean, they have the beautiful little pictures of the village, and then they have from all the way from Christmas jazz to ancient carols to British English choir carols, and such variety available. And my son gave us the Apple Music app, and so when I get in my car, I mean, this is so high tech now. If that music is on my phone, it goes right to my car, and it's on the car radio playing on this, you know, we live in such a wonderful age if we can take advantage. Every age has trials. Every age has very good things. I think our technology, though it can be negative, can be so positive if we take it and use it for the good ways that we can. Well, I'm sitting, I'll tell you, I'm in a corner of my room. I'm still working on my decorations. I'm making headway. I have company coming tonight. And so I've been rearranging, because since it's just us on the Tea Talk, I'll tell you what my big challenge has been. Do you remember the story of Fibber McGee? And he had a room that had so many things. Well, my guest bedroom is filled with my tea things, my tea hair things, my various arrangements, and it's collected a lot. And I haven't had company for a long time. So that's dangerous. So I have been working on that room, and it's been the greatest blessing, reorganizing, reordering, finding new places to put things. And so it's been a challenge, but my room now is looking, the guest room is looking so nice. And so I'm very happy I've had this challenge. I needed this challenge. We need the challenge to move us, don't we? Yes. Well, this little table I'm sitting at is actually a little desk. And it's one of my favorite places to sit. And I have several favorite things. And this lamp sits on this desk in my music room. And this is the lamp that I had on one of my first tea talks. It's a reproduction of the Orient Express lamp. And so I just thought, well, I'm going to just leave it right there because it's shiny brass, beautiful for Christmas. And then I have to decorate everything. So I put this, I'll just pull him off. Well, first I'll show you this. This is a pickle. Have you ever heard of the Irish pickle? Well, when my husband and I were in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho over Thanksgiving weekend on the way home, we went to the shop Everything Irish. It is the best shop, and they had pickles hidden in their store, and if you could find them, you could get 20% off. Well, of course we went searching and found the pickle, and then you got to keep it, and it's an ornament. And she said, the clerk, it's an Irish tradition, you have a pickle, and when you have company, you hide it in the house somewhere, and then you have a prize, and whoever finds the pickle gets the prize. Isn't that fun? So I thought, well, I'll put that there. We'll see what we do at Christmas with it. And then this is one of my favorite little vintage ornaments. I love the old-fashioned Santa scenes. It's an old-fashioned, cozy little Santa. And so I put him on here last year, and I thought, well, that's where he's going to go again. And then I thought, well, let's put the pickle with him so we don't lose the pickle, because I think it will be fun to play a game with that. And, you know, you could get your own little special pickle or some ornament and do that. If you have children especially, they love it. My mother-in-law, Granny, who now has gone on to heaven, she would have every Thanksgiving or Christmas that we went a contest. And what she did, she knew how to get people's attention. She put money in an envelope, like $20, $30. And then she would write initials on the outside. And everybody would have to guess, what does it describe in the room? Well, Granny was from Texas. And you know, she had her own way of speaking and thinking. She was a powerful little lady, probably 5'3". She had a diamond on every finger, and she always used cash. And she liked to count her cash, and she was very generous. Oh my, she would. And she played a money game with the kids too, where she'd throw cash, and they'd all, oh, that was a whole nother thing. Oh my goodness. And I have, you know, my 5 sons, when they were like early teenagers, ending up pre-adolescent. Oh my, when Granny came throwing the money, they were just dive bombing, and I had just had my house all ready for Christmas, my tree, and I just hanging on, hoping that everything survives. And I said to Sam, this is the most terrible game I've ever seen. He goes, what do you mean, Mom? This is the coolest game that ever happened. Well, Granny knew how to really get people's attention with that money she would flash. So she had this game, and it was in an envelope, and it had 4 letters. Well, I used to think, well, if I could just think like Granny, her expressions, then I could win. So I started winning the prize every time, and it was being able to think like she would express something. One time it was 12 circles on the lamp. There were 12 circles on the lamp. I don't know how I won it, but that was so fun. And so a game at Christmas is really fun. And I think the pickle game, I'm going to get some kind of a prize and wrap it up, something everyone would like. And that will be one of our games. It will be fun. Well, I also have something, this always sits on my desk, and this sits, and I thought, well, I'll just show my tea people. This is the most beautiful little clock, and you either hang it or it sits, but it's French, and it says Grand Hotel Louvre, so it's from Paris, and I don't really have a place to hang it. It just sits on this desk with my Orient Express. And then the other thing I have on here, well, I have these beautiful bookends that came with the desk. And I have them on the corner, gold, and maybe you can see them if I put them. And I have this wonderful Bible that is a King James Version reproduction, but it is so beautiful. It has all of the great art of all through history of the various famous paintings. And so that sits there. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful book, and it's all gold. And it's there all year, but I thought it all looks like Christmas. I love gold and red. I think gold and red are the Christmas colors, but they are the best decorating colors. And my daughter, who recently finished I have to have a little more tea if that's all right. My daughter finished a interior design school. And the teacher, wonderful teacher, had been teaching for 40 years. And it was the last year she was going to teach. And she was just a brilliant woman with so much heart, so much love, and poured into the students, teaching them interior design and the history of, she went all the way back to the Greeks, the Romans, the Egyptians, all of the origination of where we even get our design now for architecture and house. So she said something really interesting. She said, every room needs, just like a woman needs a touch of red lipstick, every room needs a touch of red. And I thought that's such a good principle, because I have found red and gold are just wonderful decorating colors and complementary colors. And I think we need color in our lives. And I know there's a lot of gray and a lot of white and a lot of beige. Those are wonderful backdrops, but then put a splash of something vibrant. Yes, that's how nature is. We have all the green trees, all the blue sky, then the brown branches, a lot of that. But then God will put the flower, the bright flower right in the middle of it, a beautiful, and that backdrop just reflects it. I love that. And in the autumn, I like the autumn leaves against all the evergreen trees. It's a nice contrast. And this cup is red and gold. Well, a deep maroon and gold. This tea is so good today. I tell you, I think tea, another thing I think really warms you up on a cold day is hot chocolate. There is something about that. I had a cup recently and I hadn't had one forever, but it the sugar in it or something goes in and just really holds you, warms you. Well, I'm wearing sparkles today. I don't know if you can see them, but I thought it's Christmas. Let's really sparkle. And something was brought to my attention today, and I can't read it out to you, but my friend called and she said a little sign went up near her shop, and it said, "You may be merry, you may be happy, but there are many around you that are suffering this Christmas and are not merry and need cheer." And I thought that is such an important reminder. Christmas is the deepest time of the year. It's the time of the heart. Charles Dickens knew that. All of his Christmas carols, well, he wrote the Christmas Carol of Scrooge, but he wrote a whole collection of Christmas stories. And he puts Christmas in almost every story. David Copperfield has the most beautiful Christmas scene. Tale of Two Cities. They go to church at Christmas. And it's one of the deepest moments because Miss Minette, she is so pure and sweet, and she goes forward and lights a candle and prays for Sidney, who is kind of the black sheep lawyer who feels he's not good enough to ever really come to God. And Dickens brings this out, and in the movie, the 1935 Tale of Two Cities is one of my favorite Christmas movies. I call it a Christmas movie because it is all surrounded. And so God's deep love is there for everyone to receive. He's the holy Lamb of God. The Lamb. A lamb is so gentle and kind. He came to take the sins of the world. I love the Handel's Messiah also because it goes right into that deep Messiah. What does it mean? We have a God who came down to us, became like us, gave his life for us, and all he requires of us is to receive it. And one of my favorite songs is The Bleak Midwinter, and I've sang that for years. And my husband and I used to sing that at many events. And the last verse, "What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet, what I can, I give him. Give him my heart." And in the German it says, "Mein Herz." It's so deep. We are so rich to have the heritage of all the past, the beautiful past Christmases, and through history. And I encourage each one, yes, let us be sensitive to other people. Let us do things for others that need a cheer. Give a plate of cookies, give a gift, give a smile, invite someone in for tea. We need to really be sensitive and take the opportunity, because then we receive the joy in our hearts, the deep joy. And my father always said to me, and I never forgot, my father was a man who did not speak much. He was very quiet. My mother was very verbal and very chatty and lovely personality. My father was very deep and a good, very good personality too, but he when he spoke, you listened because he didn't speak that often. Interestingly enough, I feel like I remember so much of what he said because of that, perhaps. And he always said, if you really, really want to be deeply happy, give something to someone who can't give anything back to you. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I pray you have a beautiful Christmas, and whatever your projects are, I pray you will accomplish them with joy and peace, happiness, and don't be stressed. Take time to enjoy the beauty of your Christmas tree, and please take time for tea. Okay, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. Push the notification bell and you will receive notification. And if you can share with someone, that's a Christmas share. And push the like button if you have enjoyed this. And I appreciate that. And I will look forward to seeing you next time.